Back when I was in paratrooper school, people were actually taking bets that I wouldn't finish the course, because to go through master paratroopers training, you have to give a lot of verbal jump commands, and you have to give training to 20, 30, 40, 50 people at one time. And you can tell that I've struggled with the stutter my whole life. I struggled with it since I was just a little boy. But what I did was I focused on the end result, which was passing the course. And I used the techniques of improvise, adapt, overcome to master my stutter and to get through the course. So I actually ended up at the top of my class, and what the best part was seeing the looks on the people's faces who betted against me and seeing them have to actually pay up. Improvise, adapt, and overcome actually has application in the real world. Special Forces takes its lineage from back in the Trojan War, and one of the symbols of Special Forces is the Trojan horse. So back in those times, the Greeks were attacking the city of Troy, and they had been doing this for about 10 years. They were just stuck. So when you're stuck, you need to improvise, adapt, and overcome. And what the Greeks did was they built this wooden horse. And they put 10 of their warriors inside, and they left it outside of the walls of Troy. The Trojan people came out, pulled this horse inside. They actually wondered what was going on with this horse. And once the horse was inside, later on that night, the Greek warriors came out of the horse, opened up the gates, and the Greek army came pouring into Troy and overcame the people inside of Troy. So they improvised, they did something different, they adapted a situation to what they needed, and they overcame and eventually conquered the city. So improvise, adapt, and overcome can be used in all sorts of different situations. It doesn't have to look the way that you expect it to look. Since retiring out of Special Forces, I moved into the business world, and I've managed areas up to 130 people and budgets of $70 million. And I use a lot of the techniques that I learned in Special Forces to help these business areas be as productive as possible. Back in Special Forces, we used a term called confidence targets. One of Special Forces missions was to train troops. It could be foreign troops, or it could be just basically U.S. troops. When people are first starting out, you don't want to give them the hardest thing to do. So what we would do is we would use confidence targets. We would start them out with a very, very simple target, maybe just one guard in the middle of the woods or something like that. And we would allow them to accomplish that target, giving them confidence in their abilities. After that, we would build the target harder and harder and harder, and they would gain confidence in their team and in their abilities to accomplish that. You can do the same thing in business also, because basically in business, instead of missions, you have projects and goals. So you can start off with a very simple goal at the very beginning and give your work teams confidence that they can accomplish those goals, and then build them up harder and harder and harder, more and more complex, until they're really doing very complex, very expensive projects. So that's why I enjoy speaking to businesses, to help them learn these Special Forces techniques so they can achieve the Green Beret way.